Percy Jackson versus Jason Grace. Who is really stronger? Today we're talking about one of the most controversial debates in the entire universe. Percy Jackson versus Jason Grace. The son of Poseidon, the son of Jupiter, Greek versus Roman. And honestly, this debate is way closer than most people think. Because Jason is probably the only demigod in the series who can actually fight Percy evenly. So today we're comparing strength, powers, combat skill, experience, and who would actually win in a serious fight. First, Percy Jackson. Percy is basically the definition of a powerhouse. He has water manipulation, hurricane creation, earthquake abilities, enhanced strength, insane reflexes, and one of the best combat records in the series. This dude fought titans, giants, armies of monsters, and even held his own against gods. And Percy has something most demigods don't have: battle instinct. When Percy fights, he adapts insanely fast. A lot of characters are trained. Percy feels dangerous naturally. And near water, he becomes almost unfair. His powers increase massively. He heals faster, and his attacks become devastating. We literally see Percy controlling massive amounts of water at once and overpowering enemies that should realistically destroy him. And then there's Riptide, one of the deadliest weapons in the universe. Percy's swordsmanship is honestly underrated because people focus on his powers so much. But without powers, he's still one of the best fighters alive. Now let's talk about Jason Grace. Jason is different from Percy in a really important way. Percy fights like chaos. Jason fights like a soldier. Jason was trained from childhood in the Roman camp system, meaning he has years of military-style combat experience. And his powers are insanely strong too. Flight, lightning, storm manipulation, air control. Basically Zeus powers with Roman branding. And unlike Percy, Jason can attack from range incredibly well. That matters a lot, because most of Percy's strongest abilities work best at closer range or near water. Jason can literally stay airborne and rain lightning from above. That's terrifying. And physically, Jason is no weakling either. He's fought titans and giants too, and he has some of the best leadership feats in the series. People underestimate Jason because he's calmer and less flashy than Percy. But Jason is absolutely elite. Now here's where things get really interesting. These two actually fought in the books. Not a full, unrestricted death battle, but enough to prove they were relative to each other. Neither one could dominate the other easily. And that says a lot, because most demigods get overwhelmed by Percy eventually. Jason didn't. So let's compare categories. Strength? Probably Percy. Durability? Also Percy. Combat skill? Very close, honestly. Jason has more formal training. Percy has better instincts. Speed? Jason might actually have the edge because of flight and wind powers. Battle IQ? Both are smart fighters, but in different ways. Percy improvises. Jason strategizes. Raw destructive power? This one's tough. Percy's large-scale water attacks are insane, but Jason's lightning can hit incredibly hard too. The difference is consistency. Percy's strongest feats usually happen near water. Jason's powers work almost anywhere. Now let's talk weaknesses. Jason has a big problem: stamina. Using lightning repeatedly drains him hard. Meanwhile, Percy can keep fighting for absurd lengths of time, especially near water. Percy also has better survivability feats overall. This man survives things that honestly make no sense. Another issue is close combat. Jason is excellent with a sword, but Percy might genuinely be the best pure swordsman among modern demigods. If Jason loses distance control and Percy gets in close consistently, the fight starts shifting heavily toward Percy. Now environment matters a lot here. Near the ocean, Percy probably wins. In an open sky battlefield, Jason has a much better chance. Neutral ground with no major water source? That's where this becomes nearly 50-50. Because Jason can pressure Percy from range while staying mobile. So who wins overall? I give it to Percy Jackson, but barely. Like 6 out of 10 times. Percy's endurance, adaptability, swordsmanship, and absolutely ridiculous feats give him the edge. But Jason is probably the hardest matchup Percy has among demigods. He has the power, training, and versatility to genuinely push Percy to his limit. And honestly, if Jason and Percy fought 10 times, the winner probably changes depending on the battlefield. But the real answer? Together these two are absolutely broken. There's a reason the giants were terrified when Percy and Jason teamed up. One controls the sea, the other controls the sky. That's basically a natural disaster duo. So who do you think wins? Percy Jackson or Jason Grace? And what matchup should I do next?